set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
50 seconds to mine. 50 seconds to mine. In your face.
They go back to Carson here on second. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, Boston Scott. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st down, Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
A carry here for the big tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Sanders. And he loses the football a second time. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Throwing is Hurts. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. He hits his target, Lockett. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Buying time to his left. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Wilson. Rolling to his right. That's complete into the hands of Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, as the first half is winding down, and the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime. The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here's Scott to return it. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking here for Smith downfield. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
They'll throw now on the final play. Airing it out deep for Smith. A high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And here's Scott to return it. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with it. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Going for it with Sanders, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a first down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you dispute it a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the officials.
Oh, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First down, Philadelphia.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. Flush to his right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks will take over here at their own 14-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey. Four down. Hey, check Mike 57.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, and he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Carson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Being chased out left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Steps away. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st down, it's Carson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, 28 yards. And the Seahawks have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. On first down, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
As Sanders with a carry on first down as he picks his way forward for a gain of 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. 2nd and 10. Hurts. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Back to throw again. Forced out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jamal Adams. The 40, 20, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. So the victory here for Seattle, and this was truly...